I think we're live. What is going on, everyone? I am doing a live stream from the car. I'm on my lunch break. Wasn't able to, do a proper video, and this is breaking news. So, yeah, Gen Con just posted they are canceling Gen Con for this year. Kind of curious what took them so long, because they were basically the last convention to happen this year, the last one that was still kind of on the books. And so so Gen Con is officially canceled. And I have, if you've been following my channel, or if you've been following me for a little while, Gen Con's a big deal for me. So this was not as hard to swallow as I thought it was going to be, because they had they had already delayed their event signups, and I certainly thought it was about insurance. I thought it had to do a lot with, they wanted the state to kind of tell them, hey, you can't do this con. That's what I kind of think. That's what I think it all boils down to. So now that it's, let me try and move this a little bit. I'm trying to find a good place. There we go. Anyway, so I know I'm looking forward to. I'm gonna miss not seeing all of you guys. Gen Con was the biggest con of the year for me, and it's for a lot of people. It's one of the biggest conventions for gaming, for board gaming on the planet. I think maybe Essen and or UK Games Expo are close to it, and I'm not sure which one is the actual biggest, but Gen Con's a really big deal. A lot of publishers too always announce their stuff. And so here's the thing. There's still a lot of news that hasn't come out, that a lot of companies release games at Gen Con, and a lot of companies release major news and announcements at Gen Con. So here's what I am thinking. Any of you, I don't know if any of you guys are board game publishers, or if anybody from Fantasy Flight is watching, but I am absolutely interested in helping out. A lot of people have been doing virtual cons or virtual conventions, and while I'm not a big fan of that term, because to me, really what it is just a bunch of live streams, I get kind of the message that it kind of puts across, and maybe I'm in a position to kind of help promote, like some companies that had news that they want to get out, but now in the absence of Gen Con, they're going to have a harder time reaching people. Maybe Fantasy Flight wants to announce some stuff, and maybe I can help. Maybe Fantasy Flight wants to send me the Clone Wars for Armada early, then I can do an unboxing and review during the weekend that Gen Con would have been, right? Something like that. I don't think they'll do that, but I mean, I would love to. I'd love to help out. Maybe, who knows? Maybe somebody wants, some extra hype on something. Reach out to me. You can find me on the About page of my YouTube channel. You can find me if you go to Crabbok.com under the Contact Me information there. It's or my email address is mailcrabbok@gmail.com. But if you know somebody in the industry that was looking to do something like that, reach out. We'll see what we can do. If there's enough interest, maybe we'll make it more of a formal event. Maybe I'll call it Crabbok Con 2020. Or whatever. I don't know. But I think something like that might be a cool idea to try to help out in the absence of Gen Con, because this is not just a big deal for Indianapolis. It's not just a big deal for a lot of board game publishers. It's a big deal for a lot of the fans missing out on a lot of content. It's also a big deal for a lot of people that work those cons that now are not going to have anything to do. So it's just, I feel like this is a time, Crabbok Con, right? The first ever. It sounds like a joke. But yeah, because just the online stuff, right? Because really, it would. And depending on interest, I could see there being maybe some type of a combination of maybe live stream events and live streams, and maybe planned scheduled videos, so I could do some things in advance and just have a whole weekend of it. I could see there being different events like that. Maybe some Discord games. Maybe we'll do some gaming together. I know, here's a good one. You guys ever play Town of Salem? Like, a lot of people play Mafia or Werewolf at conventions too. We could do, stuff like that. There's things. We could just make it an eventful weekend. And so that's that would be a I know I hate waiting years for stuff too. I'm missing some of the comments here. So some of you guys are saying it shouldn't be a surprise. No, I don't think it was really that much of a surprise, Don. I don't think it was. Primarily because everybody else has canceled, like you were saying, and the fact that they also stopped their event signups, so they weren't going to take any more money for event tickets and stuff. That was the writing on the wall. And for me, that being the one thing a year I most look forward to, it was tough to prepare for, but I think there was certainly a lot of time to prepare for that. I think, you know, people who were planning to go to Adepticon, for example, those are the ones who got hit the hardest because they had like almost no prep time. It was like, boom, done, you know, and so a lot of them had, you know, a lot of non-refundable stuff. Now, I'm pretty sure airlines are being really cool right now, and I should be able to get my ticket, if not refunded, at least kind of pushed over into, I think they're like Delta, because I was flying Delta. I think they're giving you like 2 years or something like that. So that's cool. There'll be more conventions. There'll be more stuff going on. I don't know what the next convention is going to be. And I don't imagine we'll actually have a board game convention until next year. I don't see it happening. I don't see an actual board game convention happening until next year, at this rate. But I don't know. I mean, I think there's PAX East in November or something like that. I'm not sure. But yeah, so if you guys are just joining in now, Gen Con 2020 is officially canceled. I'll tell you what, man, I'll be at the next one. And I'm going to try and make up for it too. I might try and see if I can swing Adepticon and Gen Con next year, if those both happen. But yeah, you know, and I think, I don't know if Disney has canceled Star Wars Celebration yet, because I'm not booked to go to that one yet. So I'm not sure what the plans are as far as that is going. But that would be a really fun one to go to also. But with no new movie this year, it's a little bit less of a hype. I mean, there's hype for The Mandalorian, but, you know, like what, you know, I mean, it's just fun to go to Star Wars Celebration in general. So there's that. When do you think they will make the Star Wars Armada announcements then? I still think it'll be the last weekend of July. That 29th, 30th. That's kind of when the in-flight report would have been. I think that's when I was flying in the 29th. So I think it's possible the evening of the 29th. But then again, they don't necessarily have to do it in the evening. So they may do it the 30th, like during the day. But I'm sure in July, they'll probably announce a live stream schedule. They have a lot of time to put it together now. However, Fantasy Flight, I would be happy to help if you're looking to reach a wider audience. I don't know, or wider audience, probably the same audience. I think people who play these Fantasy Flight games probably also follow me. But again, always happy to help out if I can, because these are games that I absolutely love, and they are kind of like the flavor of life for me. And they definitely keep life interesting, and they keep us engaged with each other. And all these games, they keep us coming to the table and shaking hands and having fun and having laughs and having epic moments. And they've certainly brought a huge sense of enjoyment to my life that was not replicated in like video games and things like that. I mean, video games are great, but there's a certain aspect of an opponent without a face, right? For video games that, and that's something that the conventions are able to do too. Is like they put faces to everything, but they bring our mutual love for these games together. So I'm bummed out. I'm bummed out for a lot of stuff, but that's just part of the new now, right? That's part of 2020 is being bummed out. You love Armada. How about me? Absolutely. It's my favorite game. But yeah, but there's, the good news is there's things getting back on track now. Fantasy Flight actually posted an updated shipping schedule. They are officially resuming shipping operations, and they posted a couple of updates. There are some June 5th releases coming out. They did not publish the Legion stuff as being available June 5th, though. So I wonder if the Legion stuff has been changed, which is astounding to me because it's still available everywhere else. You can buy them on Amazon. You can buy all that Legion stuff on it. Well, maybe not all of it, but you can buy a lot of that Legion stuff on Amazon. I think some of it's already sold out. And then a lot of people bought all of it and now are scalping it on eBay and stuff like that, which is really ridiculous. Like, if you do that, I hope you just really need the money. Because, like, I hope it's like a life and death, like you're trying to feed your kids and that's your way. But that's still, scalping is like a dangerous, like, it's a gamble, right? So I hope, I don't like that. I don't like that at all, because I guess nobody needs the gaming stuff, so it's not like you're taking something from somebody who needs it. But come on, man, painting an AAT would have been a really cool hobby to have during this downtime. That could have filled up days for some people, maybe even a week or two for some folks. Yeah. Next year will be kick-ass. Hey, Connor, thank you so much for the kind words. I really appreciate all of you guys too. And I want to thank you guys for sticking with me, and for hanging out, and for leaving all the awesome comments and the interactions. It's been a great way to keep the hobby alive. I mean, honestly, I want you guys to think about something that's kind of cool. And this is a community thing, but how long has it been since we've had any news for our Star Wars games, or real major Star Wars news in general? I'm sorry, I'm trying to hold the camera still. It's been months. We've gone months without news, and we're still staying active. We're still keeping the hype alive. We're still keeping our mutual love of Star Wars and tabletop gaming alive. Throughout months of an absolute desert of content, and I think that's pretty cool. And there's a lot of cool things that have come out of it. There's been the communities for these games are awesome. There's been vassal tournaments. There's been tabletop simulator tournaments. I don't participate in any of those because I hate them personally. I think they're great for you guys. I mean, I think they're amazing. I love them for the option, but they're just not for me. But yes. Well, thank you, man. You guys are leaving some awesome. Thanks, Dylan. And I can't wait for Clone Wars either. You guys are really cool. So thank you guys for the cool comments. If you are just joining us, Gen Con is canceled for this year, and while it's a sad moment where I'm going to look at what I can do during that weekend to kind of help out and promote games. If you're if you got a game publisher and you had something or some kind of big news or big announcements that you were planning to unveil during Gen Con, let me know. Shoot me an email, mailcrabbok@gmail.com. It's also on the back end of my channel, as well as crabbok.com. Under the contact me or the about section, but shoot me an email, let me know, and maybe we'll put some stuff together. Maybe I can, this is really just in the conceptual phase right now, but if there's enough interest, maybe we can, make a weekend of it, a weekend long event. But yeah, where is Gen Con located? Only in my imagination. No, it would have been in Indianapolis. So Indianapolis is where it would have been. The major impact is going to be the product announcements and future schedules. Well, product announcements and future schedules is a big deal, but also release schedules. A lot of companies release stuff at Gen Con. I don't know all of the logistics of it, but I know for a lot of smaller companies, this is their biggest thing of the year. Not just announcements, but also sales. A lot of them sell stuff, take pre-orders. A lot of them, this is their biggest chance to get their product in front of people's faces. And they depend on all of this stuff, and maybe there's a way that I can help out, and so I would love to put like a virtual digital Gen Con, Crabbok Con 2020, something like that. I think that would be fun. I think it'd be fun to do that. I think there's a lot of things that we can do. We've got my Discord. If you guys aren't already in my Discord, there's links to the Discord, and we can certainly coordinate. There's voice channels in there. There's great ways to schedule. If you want to do tabletop simulator games of not even just Star Wars games, but maybe you want to just play a regular board game, you want to play Catan or something like that with people, there's a lot of that, and we can, but I really like the idea of Mafia, and there's also like web games too, and there's a lot of gaming that we can do with each other that way, but also as far as just news announcements, and product highlights and giveaways and focuses, and if you want to sponsor a giveaway for something like that, so I think there's all kinds of really cool ideas and things that we can do to make it a fun weekend. And again, I don't know if it's really, it's not the same as a con, so it's not really a virtual convention, but it's kind of something else to kind of help fill in the gap a little bit. What's up to everybody that is joining us? It is a lazy Tuesday afternoon. I'm sitting here on my lunch break. I got to go back to work soon, but I didn't have time to go home and make a proper video, so I figured I would just live stream from the car. Gen Con 2020 is canceled. Might be fun to do some type of outreach or a community event during that weekend, like a Crabbok Con or something like that online. I'm willing to help out publishers that want to get the word out for stuff. So That would be really fun. I know like CMON usually has a lot of stuff to announce. FFG usually has a lot of stuff to announce. A lot of the companies out there. And have I done a Sith Trooper Black Series figure cover yet? No, I don't. I don't collect the Black Series figures anymore. Primarily because I'm out of room. I actually sold a bunch of board games. Gave a bunch of board games. I have a coworker that has a bunch of kids that are out of school, and they're kind of going stir crazy, and you know, I don't really have any board games, so you know, I gave a bunch of stuff away, and it was two-part. Like I had a bunch of board games in my trunk, and I'm talking like 20 board games that I either are kind of duplicates, like alternate versions of, like I had multiple versions of Catan, multiple versions of like Ticket to Ride and stuff like that. That I was gonna donate, and I just found somebody that was actually in need. So I'm like, hey man, let's come out to my trunk. I got something for you. So I just gave away like 20 board games, and I know that's gonna put to good use. Is he has got 5 children at home that he's gonna be stuck at home with all summer. So I know those games are gonna get some love, and that's a really good feeling. But I like to do good things. And hopefully, you know, maybe we'll do like a Crabbok con during Gen Con or something like that, or, you know, kind of to help out publishers. I would love to get some news to be able to talk about with FFG, maybe interviews. You know, I don't know if they want to, you know, if they want to spoil everything themselves, or if they want to, you know, if they want to let me spoil anything for them. I love that, but I've asked and asked so many times and just been told, hell no. So, you know, I don't know. Maybe I'm too big. I mean, they let a lot of smaller outlets spoil stuff and give a lot of exclusives to smaller channels and stuff. So maybe that's it. I don't know. That maybe they think I don't love them, and that I'm only in this for I don't know, from like a marketing perspective. Like, I only do this because I love these games. That's the only reason I'm even here. It's way too much work, and it's not worth it. I don't make very much money from this. I do make a little bit though, because I've grown to a point where I can monetize, and ads and everything helps. Like super chats help, clicking on links for ads, all of that stuff that helps me. It helps me be able to you know, to keep doing my hobbies and stuff. And because that and that's really what it boils down to. Because if I didn't have the income from YouTube and stuff, I probably would have to pick like a single faction for the games that I play. So for like Legion and Armada and stuff like that, I'm able to, you know, play a little bit of everything. And so that's really what it boils down to, is if I was gonna, because like the unboxings and all of the product reviews, I have to buy all of those. Like, they don't send those to me. There are game publishers and stuff that do send me product, and I point those out in the videos. But you know, and so like that's why I do what I do. I'm up till like almost midnight every night working on videos. You know, and that's what it takes to do daily uploads and stuff. It's crazy how much work goes into this, and especially over the past couple of months, just trying to come up with ideas and try to come up with a release schedule when this COVID-19 has completely knocked out all of the news and all of the releases and the production schedule, and now Gen Con being canceled. You know, it's been really hard trying to keep a flow of information and hype and keeping the fun and the love of the hobby alive. And that's kind of one of the reasons why I pushed up the Legion AI system. And I've been working on the Armada AI system to be able to keep playing. And I know for a lot of people they've been using Tabletop Simulator and all of these other things, but that's just not, it's just not me. I mean, if I'm gonna sit at the computer and play a video game, well, then I'd probably rather just play a video game, you know, and that works sometimes. I play Hearthstone in the evenings. When I get everything done, I'll play a game of Hearthstone or two. And so that's, you know, like, that's kind of soothing or relaxing for me. But if I'm gonna play a board game, I want to play a board game. I want to have a friend over, you know, and do that. But yes, so the AI is, I actually have, I'm working on doing another Legion AI battle report, because there's been a lack of physical battle reports. I know War Corgi's been still kind of cranking them out pretty steadily, but we haven't really been able to have company over, you know, and we're looking at, you know, starting to slowly integrate, since things are in Florida, at least things are starting to open up, and you know, and I'm like, all right, I'm looking at possibly being able to open things up again, and be able to maybe start actually gaming again in the next couple of weeks. So that would be fun. Although I think the first time I actually have can actually see friends again, I don't think I want to do battle reports. Like, I want to just like take that time and just hang out and or play just games for fun, because I don't really like to record every game that I play, because then it takes some of the fun of gaming is just gaming and not having to make it work. But yes. But yeah, let's see. When Michigan is still locked up tight. Well, it's a different situation in every area, and we're not going to know what the real impacts of the release, the unlocking schedule and the locking down schedule truly are until months from now, when we have potential resurges, and it's that, and that's what makes all of this so scary, is just that we just don't know what we don't know. And honestly, try to bear with the people in charge. I'm not a big fan of the governor here in Florida, but I think some of the decisions that he's made seem sound, and I disagree with a lot of stuff that he does, and I don't want to get political, but I guess at the end of the day, nobody has gone through this before to this extent, at least in the United States, at least. And so this is everybody's first time trying to do this, and I think we're all trying to do the best we can. And I don't want to argue and get angry at people about it, even though it comes so easy. It's so easy to get upset and to get angry about stuff, But yeah, anyway, I don't want to get off of that because I don't want to get political in here. I think board gaming is a great opportunity to put all your politics aside and just focus on having a good time and being awesome with each other. Random question, but do you think an upgrade pack for heavy vehicles is a good idea? Absolutely. On our podcast, the Double Critical podcast, we have talked about upgrade packs, and I think it was our episode that we had War Corgi on. I think it was episode number 3. We talked a lot about upgrade cards and upgrade packs that we'd like, and other upgrades that we would like to see. Everything ranging from extra trooper type upgrades to vehicle upgrades. I would love to see more hard points. I would love to see more pilots. I would love to see a lot of that. And we talked actually a lot about it in that particular podcast. So check that out too if you want to see more speculation and theory crafting on things that we could still see that we'd like to see in Armada. Myself and Sean Abbott run that. Do you Ahsoka could be a dual faction character in Legion? Do I think Ahsoka could be a dual faction character? I think what they will do, I don't think you'll see a dual faction Ahsoka in a single pack. I think you'll see multiple versions of Ahsoka. I think you'll see young Ahsoka, and then I think you'll see teenage Ahsoka, both for Republic. But then I think you will see adult Ahsoka as a rebel. I think that's where Ahsoka lies. But then again, they could potentially do non-aligned characters. I really want, and this is something else I've talked about in Double Critical, so I won't repeat it too much, but I would love to see characters that are just neutral, that can go in any faction, and I can see teenage Ahsoka going in that one. How regular do you think the new XWing Aces packs will be? Well, that's a really tough question. It is a great question to ask, but I think that's a tough one to even be able to predict right now, because the schedule is off so bad. We still haven't gotten stuff that was originally supposed to be out last year. So, and I'm talking about like the AAT and the Phase 2 clones and a lot of that stuff that was originally scheduled for like fourth quarter 2019. And I know Phase 2 clones were technically released, but like a lot of stores here still haven't gotten them yet, which is really, really nuts. So do you think, that an SSD can have 112 engineering points in Armada? Did you know that an SSD can have 112 engineering points in Armada? That doesn't make sense. I don't even understand what you're talking about there. I don't know if you had a typo. An SSD can have 6. I mean, maybe more if there's... But you can't stack tokens if that's what you're thinking. You're only going to be able to resolve one token at a time. Do you think that Armada will get the First Order and Resistance? I think eventually, if Armada keeps going for years and years, there will be an opportunity for Armada to get the First Order. I don't like the idea of them getting the Resistance. though. I think the Resistance doesn't necessarily need to have their own fleet, because since so much of their stuff is the Rebels, I would rather the Rebels just get all that stuff. And so especially if with the Clone Wars, like if you saw my video this morning, they're doing like single faction packs. Let's just make a First Order faction pack. They have a proper navy. The Resistance doesn't have a proper navy. The Resistance has 4 ships, and that's it. And that's all they have. And it's over. They only have 4 ships. You can't really field the Resistance with only 4 ships. Now you could look at maybe that big fleet from the end of it, but most of those are just either Rebel ships or Resistance ships. It's just more repeats of the same exact thing. Just throw them into the Rebels and make the First Order the flushed out faction. That's what I'd like to see. I think that's cool. All right, well, I'm gonna get back to work. I just wanted to do a quick video to thank you guys and let you guys know Gen Con is canceled. We'll probably talk more about it in the future, but I like the idea of a Crabbok Con if I can help out board game publishers, miniatures game publishers. If you want to announce new stuff, let me know, shoot me up. You got my email already, mailcrabbok@gmail.com. And if there's enough interest, maybe we'll put something together. If not, I'm sure we'll do something, because I'm sure Fantasy Flight will at least announce the new Star Wars stuff, and I'll be there to talk all about it. Maybe I'll even restream it because they only stream on Twitch now, and I don't usually like to watch on Twitch because I'm a YouTube guy, so maybe I'll restream it on YouTube or something. I don't know. All right, guys, that's all I've got. I want to thank you all so much, and as always, have a great day.